that I would spend with my mom, you know. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe actually 12 years ago.
Whoa,
I know she did came to Sweden. Yeah, maybe there.
that's special.
It's about time. It's about time.
Yes. I'm sure they're loving you there.
Yeah, we do. Like I feel so, how to say, nourished on so many levels, like cared for, loved for. It's just like abundance of beauty, literally. Yeah. So I really needed that after all the travels, all So it's like Eric as well. Like it seems like the universe just want us to come back to the roots at some point, and it's crucial. Like for me, it's been crucial to get grounding, to get connection to the roots, walk the streets I grew up. Of course, I could move on in my life without it. But I really grateful for this opportunity to come back to the place I grew up and live in the apartment I was raised. It's just cool. Like it's just cool experience. And I was afraid, and like I was afraid of it, going this direction. But now I'm so grateful, so inspired.
What is the fear? That was the fear.
So the fear is it's like it's difficult to pinpoint, but I would say it was some kind of claustrophobic fear because I feel my perception of reality has really changed. And so my going back to apartment, for example, it felt very. It's like I barely fit in this, where we were living 4 people and a dog and full on no problems. And before I came back now, it's like I was like claustrophobic. And for me, what was it would take me a week to prepare to walk to another side of this little town I live. Now it's just 5 minutes walk. And I'm like, how is that possible? It's just like it's completely the distance is measured. It kind of feels like it shrinked. Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, so that's one of the fears that, like, I would say it was strong, the claustrophobic feeling, which I don't know if I have, but that kind of it maybe explains the thing.
So it's more about the environment, like the confinement, not so much the family, like not so much your family,
No,
it's more
no,
the
no, no,
environment.
no, no. It's more about environment. Like, yeah,
Mm.
outside the family. If it's family, I feel grateful, and I feel gifted for opportunity. Like yesterday, jump in a car and go to my mom, which never happened in 12 years, as I said. I didn't have that opportunity to celebrate my birthday with her. So that's just been beautiful. Yeah.
I love this because we're taught in the Western world to like if we're not living outside of our nest, we are not independent, we're not able to really do things on our own. So it's kind of like conditioned for us to like run away from home to go do our own thing when like the love is within our nest. It's there and we're running away from it, searching for love somewhere else, wanting to fill our hearts in so many different ways when in within our homes is really everything we need as far as
Yeah.
love, as far as nurturing. So I didn't realize that for the longest time. I was traveling for the last 5 years everywhere. And every time I would come home, I would feel like, what am I doing here? Like I feel like I'm coming back to zero. Like why am I coming back? I
Contraction.
gotta, yes, I feel like I needed to leave or else I was not feeling productive.
Mm.
And just literally recently after living in India with monks, I just really realized like, wow, like like you said, the roots of like
Mm.
being at home and just feeling grounded, feeling loved. There's so much support. It's like sitting with nature, but with family, and
Mm.
it's completely
And
changed.
and the kind of for me, it's going now into like realizing that. there is no separation. So everything, what I would be internally running away from, it's like it's kind of lives outside. So it's like my connection with my father that passed away, or my grandfather, is like, where are they? They are inside me. Even the stories, the feelings, like everything is inside me. So it's kind of, and time, that's where the time does not exist. They are here present always with me.
Yeah.
It's even my mom, she's alive, but she's always with me. Yeah, so it's some kind of, and when you say we keep on running from homes, it's like, in that case you would say that life is happening to us and not for us. But if we look from fundamentals, that life is happening for us, so we never were running away from anybody, from nor home, nor, it's just like the feelings we create around it, the stories we attach to it. But we are always guided, and we always be not. So we were on the mission. We were meant to travel. We were meant to go those places, to climb those mountains, to dive those oceans, to meet those people, to celebrate, like to lose, to detach in some way, to attach again to the roots, I guess. Yeah.
This is why that beautiful saying, home is where the heart is so profound, because it didn't matter where I was whenever I was going through any of the pains or sufferings that I thought that were pains. I remembered in those moments I could switch and change as long as I felt what was inside. And so that was the complete surrender of trusting and knowing that actually I'm safe because I'm inside. I'm safe because I'm connected to my heart and I'm doing what my heart's intention is guiding me to do. And as a result of that distinction and decision, I felt absolutely fucking certain everywhere I went, because I was guided by something so much more profound. And I am guided by something so much more profound than myself, because I can feel it in my body. It's never about the environment or the circumstances in the environment. It's about the choice that we make from influencing the environment from the inside out, not the outside in. It's a choice, and it's consistently a choice, by the way. Even if we're listening and silent, that's also a choice, by the way.
Hey Ronald, hey Jacob, we were smashing here.
How you doing, guys? It's Friday, finally. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, it's true.
Yes.
It's Friday. Oh my gosh, what do we do about it?
Yeah, now we go on vacation, short 2-day vacation.
Short 2-day vacation. Where do you go?
We go to Härnösand, the northern of Sweden,
Amazing.
to meet Gina's family.
Ah, that's where she grew up in a way, right? Or lived in Sweden when she moved.
Yeah, kind of. She lived there a couple of years, and there is one of her friends who's getting engaged, so it's gonna be a party, and I will be dressed in pink.
You will be dressed in pink. Amazing. I love it.
Yes, we need to be matching, right? Totally my choice.
Beautiful. I found my mic again, so I can speak now. Thank you, Sigitas.
you, Ronald, you were in a car wash. I saw there was this above your.
Yes. I was getting washed. Last weekend I was getting electrocuted in Stockholm, and now I'm getting washed.
How was the meeting? All you guys in Stockholm? I'm curious to know about it. How it was? How it was to be all together? You four beautiful humans.
We loved it. We had a great time together. We had dinner, and they took the light out to get us out of the room. And yeah, it was too short.
Mm.
Yeah, I really agree. It was so fun though. We had lots of fun. We laughed a lot and learned a lot.
I literally saw in the picture the shift. It was so beautiful to observe, like an older couple, not old couple, an older couple with a younger couple, but still the same energy. So both in youthfulness. And so it was so beautiful because, Sigita's it's so funny. He always talks about it doesn't fucking matter. Like we asked him how old he's 30. He's like, doesn't matter. And you could totally see that. You could totally see that in the picture with all of you, the four of you, that it was like it was the souls hanging out. It wasn't the ages hanging out.
Amen.
Yeah.
It was great. I would love all of you to come to Stockholm as well. That would be so fun. And get electrocuted. We got 3 shares. It will be fun.
Meijing Shaw, I'm curious, and I'd love to get your insight on this. It would be nice to get Anandagiri on one of these calls.
For sure.
And hear him connect with some of these family presents, or see if he's open to it. I'm curious what you both think about this.
I would love to reach out to him and invite him to come. I don't know what his availability is or what he'll say, but I would love to invite him.
I think if we make it about Loka Foundation and what he's doing, maybe he'd be down to like bring Yogesh and Dali, and
then for sure.
Like then it would
There
be
you go.
more maybe because like every time I invite him or like anything, he's like, oh no, I'm working at Loka Foundation. I'm working at Loka Foundation. So if we make it about Loka Foundation, it might be a trip.
I
So,
think it's a great idea because then we can focus on what they're doing with sustainability and how creating communities in India, and invite some of the younger generation that's involved with you, like you said. So maybe you guys, we can do that after I return from Dubai. So we could plan for November 13th, or sorry, see if they're available for November 8th.
yeah, that's great for me.
That's so trippy. I literally was just going onto my scheduler app to like remind myself of when to send a message. And I scrolled across I was like, okay, November, and it landed on the 8th, right when you said November 8th. That was crazy.
Sounds like a
That's
divine
it.
timing. It's piercing
Yeah.
through. So this is where the life is happening for us, not to us, right? So then that's what we talked earlier. It's about like we feel when it's like it's the feeling is guiding us, and that's what Eric was saying with the choice we make. If the feeling feels right and feels like fuck yeah, then we go for it. And if universe has a different plan, it will adjust anyways. So
Yeah. I've been needing to talk to Ananda Giri. He owes me a call, so I'll text him. I'll get on a call with him, and then I'll set it up for the 8th
Amazing.
to text him. Awesome.
You are both such blessings. I appreciate it. I think it'd be really nice to also highlight a lot of the things that they've been doing. So
Yeah.
in form. By the way, just so Jacob and Ronald, you both, and well, I think Sagitas already knows, but Ananda Giri is the gentleman that Tony Robbins talks about at Date with Destiny, that he went and spent a lot of time with in India with Sage. So Ananda Giri also came to Tony's house, did some work with Sage. So this is who we're talking about right now.
Amazing.
Yeah. Just to give you some context. He's a really magical man. Very integral in our global mission.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely one
Yeah,
of
I'm
the most
curious. I'm very, very curious. Looking forward
Yeah,
already
maybe
to
Shaw,
that.
you want to share a little bit about it, because you can feel it coming through you. I can feel it coming
Yeah.
through you.
Oh, okay. No, I was gonna say he's just like one of the most focused, clear humans you're ever gonna meet. Like I seriously just am in awe when I am with this human being. Like he's just literally clear consciousness, just like standing right before you. You'll hear like some of his audios that he does um for the Acom stuff. And I'm not even usually huge into all the meditations and everything, but I'll listen to them, and it's literally like you can just hear the clarity, the certainty, the grace like in his voice, and there's like nothing else. It's just like completely pure stillness, and it's like it's crazy. Uh yeah, so I just had to share because it's like I felt that coming through, and he's an amazing human. He'll stay up. There's a program called Tapas, and he'll stay up for 7 hours and not move from one place. Like he'll be seated in one place 7 hours, be leading the meditation all night long. His voice will stay exactly the same tonality. He'll be saying the same things over and over again. But he won't have any voice crack, any, oh, I'm getting sleepy, anything. It's just his voice is exactly the same clarity, and he won't move a muscle for 7 hours. It's like it's amazingly inspirational for sure. Serious inspiration. So I'm excited for everyone to meet Ananda Yuriji. That would be amazing. He's an amazing human. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds sound.
Sounds. Yeah. Yeah. That's about it. I try not to sound like a fangirl, but yeah, it just
Can't avoid it.
can't avoid it exactly. Yeah.
He's a really
Yeah,
good man. Go ahead, May.
yeah, and just the way he builds projects, it's really interesting because it's like with ease, no pressure, but yet he like pushes to a sense where it's like, I remember the first time I got there, we like created like the walk. It was the first one ever, and I didn't do much, but I was just like observing, and he was just like very with a lot of ease, like not even like the leadership is not pressure leadership. It's like almost like he sits back and manifests everybody to do everything in some magical way because we just trust. It's complete trust, and then things just beautifully happen. And then at the end, the next day on Monday, he's like, "Okay, when's the next one?" I'm like, "The next one? That was insane! What we just did, it was like 100 people." And this guy's like, "Okay, when's the next one? In 3 weeks? When do you guys want to do that?" I was just like in like complete like shock. Like this guy's just such ease. Like, yeah, we just do the next one, then we do the next one, and they do one every month, and then like things just get built around him very easily and very quickly. Like he collapses time like in a very magical way. His way of creating projects is something I've never ever witnessed. So, anyways, Acharya, we call him Acharya, Anandagiri. And he doesn't really like to like be in the camera unless it's for local foundation, because one time there was a documentary being filmed, and that's the only time I've seen him get an interview. So he doesn't really get in front of cameras anymore, but we're gonna try to make it happen with with this movement of Local Foundation. They're doing really beautiful work in India, and I think we should definitely give it some light in the Lighthouse and speak a little bit about what they're doing. Have them come, the leaders, the youth leaders that are there, the Indian leaders, the youth, they're being guided by him. So they're very conscious youth. So it's also would be really beautiful to bring them on.
Yep,
So
I agree.
I'll text them and see what we can do. I'll do it right now, actually.
Yeah, and inviting them also, I think, into the group as a collective too. So it's like whatever they want to share, any of your events or any things that are going on, or just infrastructure wise, or anything that they need support in, so that people across the world, as the Lighthouse grows, start to be even more aware of what's happening. So in India.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just sharing it with Disha the other day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Teamwork. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Shah, how are you feeling, my brother?
I'm good. I'm feeling great. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, and I was telling Beijing, Disha and I are now together. So that whole story when I was sharing all that, it's been so long. I ended up and I told Sigitas I ended up going to Arizona 2 or 3 days later. I just hopped in the car and was like, I have to get to know this girl. And here we are. So pretty great. Yeah.
Tell us more, man.
I mean, what is there to it's just
If you want. I mean, there's always
yeah,
that you sound super excited about it, so maybe you want to share more. I don't know. You let us know.
okay. Thanks, man. It's yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I'm definitely in love and she's in love as well. And it's not quite like anything I've experienced other than like in any previous relationship or anything else. It's just like I knew even before I met her, like I had this experience when I saw her on social media. The first emotion and thought that came into my brain was that's gonna be my future wife. And I was like, whoa, like let me just sink into that feeling for like a moment and like not try and fight with it, not try and anything with it, meddle with it. And it was insane. Like oh, it was insane. I literally felt like a little kid. Like and in a beautiful way, I felt like so playful and so light and so happy. And I just sank into that feeling a lot more. And then, I got in my head about it. I started overthinking about it. I was like, she lives in Arizona. I've never met this girl. Like, how is this gonna happen? Let's just see what happens, right? Like, I'm here. Who knows? I'm not gonna make any sort of move out of the blue randomly. And then she texted me 3 weeks later for the FOA LA, and I was like, it's happening. And then so we started communicating on there, and then we went to the FOA LA, and yeah, it was good. We vibed, we connected. There was a little bit of some things that happened. Another guy like started to like Disha as well. I wasn't there as much because I was very focused on my own journey. And then there was kind of some like I don't know. You can't even call it necessarily drama. It kind of was, but like it's bullshit. So I just was like I didn't know her well enough to like want to keep going. I was like, okay, like this is not worth my energy to try and compete with a friend of mine, like I'm not competing over a girl. So I just kept focusing on what I was doing. And then that pissed her off. So she called me like after the event like 3 times, like, hey, what happened? Like, where did you go? Like, I've been thinking about you. Like, I've been like, what happened, etc. Right? And then we healed the conversation and healed that situation. I shared my perspective. I shared what happened, and then she was sharing hers, and then it was like such comfortability and ease. Like we could just share whatever about our lives with each other in the first day. Like I was just sharing all about my past, all about my whole life. Like it's just whatever needed to come out could come out. Thank you. Yeah. And so I feel incredibly blessed. Like I feel like I found the one for me, and I know I have. And so I'm just like I'm super grateful. I'm very, very grateful in this moment. And yeah, that's
What a
about it.
beautiful, what a beautiful state of awareness to see the gift of being able to connect so deeply with somebody and recognize that. What a like mature way of observing life, brother.
Thank you, man. I do my best.
And
Yeah.
thank you for sharing, brother, so
Yeah.
openly, so as it is, because like again, there is no separation. So I feel equally joy. You know, like I feel like that connection you're sharing. I feel it. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
I don't create a lack in my head anymore. This is something also like I kind of like I'm happy. I'm grateful for you, as I if I would be grateful for myself, you know, in this position.
Mm, that's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you
Jacob,
guys.
I'm curious. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say thank you. Thank you for listening, guys.
I'm curious, Jacob, if you had the same feeling like Shaw had about Gina. Did you like know, you know? And then I would also ask that question to Ronald after.
So I kind of knew that I was interested, but we met through a friend, and my goal was just to make her smile as much as possible, and I was very I was very like careful because I knew I'm gonna meet her again, so I didn't ask for her number or any contact details really. And what happened was after that night I was like, maybe I should have, I don't know. But what happened was she actually reached out to me like 1 or 2 weeks later, and we later spoke about it that if I would have asked, she would have said no. And yeah, I was just going and trusting my intuition. But yeah, we had great moments early on, and I've always felt like we're on the same page, but also the feeling that we've known each other longer, really.
Hmm. And Ronald, same?
Well, we met at dancing classes, and we started with a big bang at 26th of April 1986. 11 o'clock in the evening. That was the time that Chernobyl went hot, and I was hot too. And that's 38 years ago now. And I was very young. I was 14 at the time. But when you know, like Shaw, you know, then there's no not knowing. And then you go for it. Oh, well, and I'm still there every day. So
I'm
I'm a
curious
very blessed.
if does your wife felt the same, like that she knew, or like
Great question.
I don't know. It's a good question. I can ask her, but I think so. I think she knows. Yes, of course. You know that. But at the time that it's happening, you're not as certain as you are right now, because you don't know that feeling at that time. It's a new feeling. But when time goes by, the feeling goes only deeper.
Mm.
It's like an ocean. You never know when you're at the bottom.
Mm.
And of course, sometimes there are rough times when you're together. But when the balance is of the basis is good, you always come from into good places.
Yeah.
It's a basement, the base of your life together. Yeah, I'm very blessed.
Gina, did you feel the same?
No. But then after 6 months, I knew that he's my husband. He's gonna be my husband. So yeah.
So beautiful. I love listening to these paths. It's inspiring.
Yeah, it's really amazing.
How is it, Eric,
Oh.
going for you with the how are you doing?
For me, it's I'm noticing things that still are need to be more attuned, at least for myself, because my hallucination was that I thought that a person that I was very interested in was in a place that was in the same space of congruence or devotion. However, I'm observing based off of what I'm recognizing that there's still a lot of experience that the other person may need to go through just to go through her own journey. So my decision and my choice is to focus on what matters most to me, which is the mission, and really focusing on devoting myself to being grounded, like we talked about earlier, Sagitas, and staying on that course and that path. And I really trust that a person that is going to be really aligned with me is going to show up. I don't really have any other requirement other than the fact that I need to be focused on this. And if that person is not willing to kind of at least observe and listen to my need for that, then that's okay. I don't have any expectations of that, but I know what I need to keep my soul happy and to keep shining. And I don't want to, or I'm not going to create any change in that, because for me it's really harmonious. And as you know, I feel extremely empowered and and encouraged in the direction that I'm moving, and very supported, as we saw in the previous meeting and the many meetings before. So feel in bliss, man, and very excited. And I know as a result, the right person is gonna just come or show up. And I keep saying that, I know that, but I really just I'm not negotiating my standards, if that makes sense. I'm not negotiating the level of responsibility that I choose to play at, and I really either you meet me there or you don't. That's it. That's okay. You know? And there's fucking nothing that I am going to do to please somebody to make them feel like they are enough. They need to know that they are enough. Does that make sense?
I'm curious from Ronald, how do you process that in when you were sharing about once you know, and it sounds like the what I'm observing, that knowing, like where was your knowing, Ronald? Was it like in this kind of like observations, what Eric's sharing? I don't know even what I'm asking, but like whatever comes through, like seems like.
Well, yeah, it's a knowing. It's like when you're totally in flow and you know which direction to take, left or right, without a hesitation. That kind of feeling is it. And
so,
yeah, it's when you know, and yeah, then you act on that feeling, and that, yeah,
it's so profound because it's exactly like how I feel about the mission and like the it's so like for me it's so easy. It's so easy and it's so like playful and it's fun. And the mission is just like I feel so connected to it, and it's just like you said, left or right, straight back, forever. It just fucking it's easy and you just know. So
yeah, and then there is no decision. The decision is taken. You only have to go left or right.
Yeah.
And you know you're doing the right thing. And it's unexplainable.
Yeah. I feel so fun. Yeah. Okay.
It's like it seems like very clear, Eric, what's going on. Some things we know and some things we kind of assume that we wanna know, but but that is kind of and we know where it's coming from.
Yeah. That was so beautiful.
That doesn't mean that you agree on everything.
Yeah, for sure.
There are also differences, but you experience them when they arrive. But it's the underlying knowing is what that's what important. So if you feel that, yeah, don't let the person go. Act on it. And then see what happens. And then if you're acting from that knowing, it always will be good.
Sounds like it's choosing either yes or no in every step. Like it's
yes.
There's nothing in between. It's like yes, there is yes and then we figured it out. We come to some kind of conclusion or agreement or like whatever needs to unite or connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, the willpower, I guess that's a strong force there, right? So like to meet if it's matching the willpower from both sides, so the meeting is just unavoidable. It's gonna happen.
Well, I don't think it's willpower, it's heart power.
Beautiful.
It's nothing to do with the head. It's totally from the heart.
Yeah.
That's steering the mind.
Interesting that you think the will is in the head. I think it's in the heart.
Me too. I also feel like the will is an extension of the heart. It really moves the body.
Yeah. It's a very philosophical question.
My apologies. My apologies. I said I think, so I don't think, I feel. Yeah.
In the heart you feel, but if you think, who's doing the thinking?
That's right. So nice to catch ourselves, hey? It becomes like a game where we're like able to catch ourselves and then support each other's catch and then say, we all learn together, and it just becomes like so much more playful.
So Ronald, what would be the one advice for Shaw? Because he is 38 years where you have been, and like how to say it, like he is where you have been 38 years ago.
Well, I wish I knew some things I knew now, and that is the difference between men and women. Everybody wants them to be the same, but we're different.
Yep.
And women have needs and men have needs. The most important need a man has is freedom. So he doesn't want to be held back, constrained. He needs to have totally freedom, and he would love to be on a pedestal for his woman, that his woman admires him. And what he gives in, and he needs a woman to be playful. And what a woman needs that you listen to her from the heart all the fucking time. And what happens? A normal man can only do that unless he's totally in love. When the butterflies are everywhere, he can do that for a whole day. But in normal life, a man can do that for 2 minutes. Then he's thinking about, oh, I need to take out the garbage, and he's pretending to listen. But the women notice that when you're switched off, when you're thinking about your chores, about the things you want to do, a rocket you want to build, or whatever. So the big secret the big secret is to stay engaged as long as you can. And listen with your heart. And look into the soul. So look into their eyes and listen from your heart. If you can do that, then you will notice a difference. But it's a very difficult skill to master. Because after 2 minutes, you go, the mind of the woman, I got advice of a very wise man. He said to me, Ronald, women, don't try to understand them because you can't, just love them.
I like the way Alan Watts says, it's one of the most ludicrous idea to try to understand another.
Ludicrous, because the mind goes like and when we think about fishing, we think about fishing. When we think about building a rocket, we're building a rocket. And we don't think about the old cows from 2 nights ago or 1 week ago or 1 year ago when they wear this and that. We don't know that anymore. But they combine everything. you pretend as good as possible that you understand, and keep that up. Keep that up as long as possible. And
so this is what, like, because like, like, isn't it more like to be honest and say to the chosen one, like, hey, I'm already tapping out, I cannot follow you, so she doesn't talk, so just talk, you know?
If you say
So
that,
what
you're crash and burn, my friend. Your rocket is crashing and burning.
So pretend.
Never say that.
Fake it.
Never. Ever.
This is what I think my biggest problem in my marriage was. I was too honest.
You were too honest.
Like, yeah.
They sometimes they want to hear you say, yes, that is beautiful, when you think, no, it's not beautiful.
I know, but I was not too honest. I would be like,
but
which I'm still choosing not to change. This is
exactly
something I don't want to negotiate.
Sigitas, I have the same problem, but then that's when the times are not so good. Because you're totally honest, but she doesn't want to hear that.
Gina wants to say something on that. It sounds like, or it seems like. But do you love honesty? Do you love honesty of the man, or you would like the man to sometimes choose to pretend and perform and be fake? In other words, please.
I mean, if I need to hear the truth, then I want to hear that. But if the lie,
when to know, then you
That's
need
exactly
to know
the problem. She says, when I need the truth, I need the truth. But we never know. We never know. Never. So
we trying to understand you, Gina.
like if I
listen
ask
carefully.
about my if I ask about my makeup, is my makeup good? I mean, it's no big deal. It can be bad too. But if I asking, if I'm in the shape, like in a good shape, and then he just looking at me and I don't know, then I'm gonna be.
Exactly. You
Tell
proved
me
my
the truth.
point.
You look
proved my
beautiful.
point.
Ah, okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gina. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. And what women need also things. After listening, they also need safety. We need to make them feel safe. So we need to protect them, be gallant, open the door, like an old school thing. That's what women like.
Yeah.
And stand up when we need to stand up.
I agree.
And that's it. If you follow those rules, you're in business.
And when you're in business, I recommend having a 5-year-long cancellation policy. That's what we're doing. So if we have a problem, we have 5 years to figure it out before we separate.
Why?
Because then we can figure it out.
Why do you need to separate in 5 years then?
Exactly. That's the point. Do not separate. But sometimes, when sometimes there is a problem, there is separation right now, not in 5 years. That's why I negotiated a longer time horizon for me to figure it out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. I mean, the goal is when you're in a couple to always go long term. Because if you don't have any interest long term, you should just break up.
Totally agree. You should not even start. Like I should not even start. Or we.
Yeah.
One thing I learned when when I met Jacob was that men needs to feel they are men. Like they take care of the economy. They want to feel strong. And I couldn't let Jacob do it from the beginning because before I met Jacob, I fixed everything by myself. And it was so hard to just let it go. So I agree with you, Ronald, about that men needs to feel, yeah, what did you say? If they need to feel,
They need to feel appreciated by their own woman.
yeah.
Only if she's the only one saying you're great, that's what we need. And everybody saying you're a loser, but if your woman says you're great, then we're satisfied. That's what we need.
Yeah. I did a lot of mistakes from the beginning when we start our company. I said to Jacob how he had to do things, and and that was not good.
No.
And after 1 year, I just decided to no. Now I have to focus on something else. So I worked with another company, and Jacob did everything by himself, and the company grew a lot. And then I knew that I have to say to Jacob, "Good job, you do it very, very good."
Exactly. You learn 2 lessons. You need to compliment him, and you need to give him freedom to do his own shit.
Yeah.
To make mistakes.
And when he makes mistake, you back him up. Like, okay, try again. You're doing a good job. Try again.
Yeah.
That's what he needs.
Yeah. So.
And that's the secret of a good relationship.
Yeah.
Of course, the electrical connection need to be there. Well, you've got a chair for that, so you need to feel electricity between you. And you know when you're not together, then you're feeling that something's missing.
Yeah. I feel that when Jacob is gone for like 2 hours, then I need to call him and when are you coming back? So
no, then you're on the right path.
Yeah.
Yep. But don't call so much. Trust.
What?
Don't call so much. That
No.
I understand. I understand. Let him call you.
Yeah. We are.
But yeah,
working,
then we take the risk that we need to listen to you and don't understand you. He's smiling. I see him smiling.
I did that today and it worked good.
You guys, this was amazing. I learned a lot today listening and observing. Thank you so much for everybody's wisdom. And this was a lot of fun and very playful. Thank you, Ronald, for guiding us. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You guys are amazing.
I need to schedule a call with you because I want to know how your last Friday was, but I will come to that.
Yes, everything is amazing. I look forward to sharing. I gotta run. I have another meeting right now. I love you guys, and thank you for just being so real, all of you.
Yeah. Thank you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Much love, everyone. See you.
Love
Enjoy the Friday.
Ronald.